Welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Mustafa. And today I am going to show you some quick but advanced tips and tricks using checkboxes, conditional formatting, the filter function, and the if error function in Google Sheets. At the end, I will show you a bonus trick which will comprise of the functions we will learn in this video. So stick around till the end and don't skip forward. Else you won't get it if you miss any part of this video. So let's get started. What we will be doing today is create a simple checklist, in this case a shopping list, that we will use to check off items as we order or buy them. Update them in a separate list. And track the pending items that are yet to be ordered. So here is a groceries list we have already prepared under the heading shopping list. We have two more headings as you see. One is called the items ordered and the other one yet to order. As seen here, our objective is to move items from the shopping list to the other two respective lists as we continue with our shopping escapades. So now let's select the cell next to the first shopping item, that is milk. This is where our first checkbox will be added. Now click on Insert. Scroll down to Checkbox. And click on it. Now you see the checkbox has appeared in the cell B6. As you see, by default the value assigned to this checkbox is false. But when you click on it, it becomes true. We will need to pass these values during conditional formatting as we proceed further. As you see, when I click the checkbox, the item next to it, that is milk, should be checked out, but nothing is happening right now. So, let's go and do that right away. Click on the cell that you want the effect to take place. In this case it's C6, which has the item milk mentioned in it. Now click on Format. And then click on Conditional Formatting. Now you will see a widget open up on the right hand side within the Google Sheets itself, saying Conditional Format Rules. As you see in this widget, there are three main sections that will help us achieve our goal. First, what you see is Apply to Range. This is where you mention where the action needs to reflect. You can update the range by selecting all the cells where we would like the conditional formatting to happen. In our case it's the cell C6 for now. The Format Rules is where you set the criteria when the action needs to take place. And the last section is where you set what action should happen. Now let's select the criteria by clicking on the drop-down under Format Rules and select the last option that says Custom Formula is. We will now enter the condition when the action should take place. Since we want the updation to happen when the checkbox is clicked, we will need to give the cell reference of that checkbox. You see right now the value of the cell is being shown as false, but we want the action to happen only when the value changes to true, and that will happen when the checkbox is clicked. So the custom formula will be equal to $B6 equals to true. Now we will select what action should happen when the criteria is fulfilled. We want a strike through to appear on the text. We will change the cell color to white and then click on Done. Let's close the Conditional Format Rules widget. Now when you click on the checkbox, you see milk getting struck off. Since we want to apply this same condition to the entire list, the easiest way is to drag and drop. The checkboxes have been set in place, but same conditional formatting rule needs to be set for each of the items in the list individually, so that the desired result is achieved when any of the corresponding checkbox is clicked. The easiest and the fastest way to do is by selecting the main cell from where the rule needs to be copied, then click on Paint Format tool. And then drag and select all the cells where you want that rule to be updated. Here we have successfully set the same rule for the entire shopping list. Let's confirm if it's working. If we uncheck the box, the strike from the item next to it goes away. Now our next objective is to update the items ordered list whenever we check off any item from the shopping list by clicking the respective checkbox. To do that, we will need to use the filter function, select the cell where you want to update the list, and now let's type the formula. Equal to filter. Open parenthesis. And now, we need to set the range from where the data needs to be taken. Our shopping list is in column C, and the first item starts from C6, so we will select the cell, colon, and then choose the end of the range. We could type C16, but we want to keep the range open, so we will type just C. Now you see that the range is not restricted to just the current entries in the list, but will take effect on any additional entries as and when it gets updated. Now we need to enter the range of the condition or criteria, which will trigger the function if all the conditions are fulfilled. In our case, it's going to be column B, as the check boxes are placed in that column. So now we will type comma, the starting cell reference from where the checkboxes start, that is B6, and since we want to keep the range open, here we will type just B and close the parenthesis. You can see here it is already showing us milk as all the criterias are fulfilled. The filter function has scanned the entire list and now it will display all the items where the respective checkboxes have been checked. Let's enter and see. Now we see milk updated in the items ordered list. Let's check for other entries as well. Bread gets stricken and updated in the items ordered list. Oil is also added. Now you see, even though I am striking off items in a random order, the list is getting updated sequentially without any blank spaces. But now if I click on sugar, it will appear between milk and bread as it lies in between these two entries in the main list. Let's check chicken and rice. Our next objective is to update the unchecked items in the yet to order list. Since cheese is not yet checked out, it should show up in the yet to order list. We will be using the same filter function once again but with a slight updation to get the desired result. As done earlier, we will set the range from where the data needs to be taken. Our shopping list is in column C, and the first item starts from C6, so we will select the cell, colon, and keep the range open by just typing C, comma, and now we need to set the range of the triggering condition, that is the checkboxes, so we type B2, colon, B, and close parenthesis. Oh. Let's see what this error is all about. Got it. We have given an incorrect range for the checkboxes. We need to update the range to start from B6 instead of B2 and enter. So now we see a list has been populated, but it is an incorrect list. It shows the exact same list as the items ordered. When we uncheck milk, it removes it from both the lists at the same time. Let's uncheck a few more items and see. Now only oil, which is checked, is showing up in both the list. But the yet to order list should be showing these unchecked items instead. Oil showing up here is correct because the on-click checkbox value of it being true is being executed by default. If you check the cell value of B6, here is currently false, as the checkbox is not checked. The cell value, if true, will update here, and if cell value false, it has to be updated here. Let's set the correct condition. Now we set the checkbox cell range value to false and enter. Now you see all the unchecked items updated in yet to order list and only one checked item in items ordered list. Let's test it out. Milk moves from yet to order to items ordered list. And bread and chicken, so our formulas are correct and we have achieved what we wanted. With that we have completed checkboxes, conditional formatting, and the filter function. Now that you have seen how to do this, you could even populate the content of these lists or multiple data fields into separate sheets within the same worksheet or a completely different Google Sheet. You could give access to each of these individual sheets to maybe different people playing different roles and need to track only that particular data. In this case, you would want to share the shopping list with your house help who has gone to purchase the ingredients. The ordered items list could be with your cook who knows what ingredients are now available to make the next meal. Or you could even use this list to monitor the accounts when added with additional data showing the cost of each item. As a project manager, you could create a list of tasks and monitor the completed and the pending tasks in real time as soon as they are updated. If you want to learn how to do that, let me know in the comments below and I will create a video for it. Some use cases could be creating a to-do list or a task list, a schedule tracker, a follow-up list and many other things. Let me know in the comments below how you plan to use this functionality in your assignments if you are a student, or your work if you are a professional going forward. Well, if you are a homemaker then this shopping list tracker could be helpful. Now let's check the next function we have set out to learn in this video, that is the if error function. Let's keep milk as is and uncheck all the other checkboxes. As you see, now milk is the only entry in this list. What happens if we remove this entry as well? Once we do that, an error shows up in the list. It says, no matches are found in filter evaluation. This means that none of the criterias of the filter function were fulfilled and hence, it could not display any entries. In order to hide such error messages, the if error function comes in handy. Let's apply this function to mask this error message. All we need to do is update the existing function by wrapping it with the if error function. Let's see how to do it. After equal to, type if error and open parenthesis. What you see next is the existing formula. Let's go to the end, put a comma and enter what you want to display in quotes. For now we will just display blank empty cell. So we type open and close quotes and close the parenthesis. Let's press enter and check. Now you see even though nothing is checked, the error doesn't show up. Let's click and uncheck a checkbox and see if it still works. Yes, it does. Let's take it a notch up. Let's make it user-friendly and presentable by adding a custom message. Let's go to the function again and type, nothing ordered, in between the quotes which we had left blank earlier. As you see, the blank cell has now been updated with the custom message. Let's test it out. Here we will check everything. Yet to order list is now empty. Now let's uncheck everything and make the ordered items list empty and see if the custom message, nothing ordered, shows up. Yes, it does. So with that we have even covered the if error function. Wow! The Google Sheets has just thrown up a congratulatory message for us. Isn't that so cool? Well, now it's time for the bonus trick I had promised at the start of this video. Let's figure out how Google Sheets threw up that congratulatory message. When we uncheck any of the checkboxes, the message disappears. Only when all the checkboxes are checked, the message magically reappears. Let's get cracking. To duplicate this, we will be using checkboxes, conditional formatting, and the COUNTIF function I have covered in one of my previous videos titled Google Sheets Top 7 Basic Functions You Need to Know. You can check out that video on my channel. I will also be leaving the link in the description below. So let's begin by setting up 4 checkboxes here. Select the cell, click on Insert, and then click Checkbox. Now let's get the other 3 checkboxes. 3 and 4. So now when we click on all the 4 checkboxes, a message should appear. The same way as it happens at the top. When we uncheck one checkbox, the message disappears, and when we click it again, it reappears. Now let's type the message we want to display. Let's go with the bonus trick revealed. And let's left align it. Let's also highlight bonus trick by making it bold. Now we have 4 checkboxes and the message, but when we click all the checkboxes, nothing happens. The message remains static. Our requirement here is for the message to show up only when all the checkboxes are clicked and disappear when any one is unchecked, but that is not the case currently. Let's first understand how the message appears and disappears. To do that, the first step is to select the message, click on the font color tool and change the color to white. Once you have done that, now it appears as if the message has disappeared. To make it appear, all we need to do is change its color to something else other than the background color so that it becomes visible. We will do that with conditional formatting. But for the conditional formatting to come into effect, we need to get a trigger first. This trigger is going to be the condition or criteria when the formatting should come into effect. To do that, we will use the COUNTIF function, covered in one of my earlier videos. I have left the link to that video in the description below. So let's type equal to COUNTIF, open parenthesis. Now we need to select the range from where we need to count the values. Since we want the text to appear upon checkboxes being clicked, we will select the corresponding cells where the checkboxes appear. This is from where the value is to be checked, that is from I13 to L13. Comma and the condition that is true, close parenthesis and enter. Now you see the value to be 0, as the cell value of an unchecked checkbox is false. Now when we click one checkbox, you see the cell value changes to true, whereas the cell value of the unchecked checkbox is false as shown here. The value shown in this cell is the number of times the value true is appearing in the set range, and it is 1 at the moment. Now as we keep clicking the checkboxes, the value keeps changing. As we check and uncheck randomly, the value keeps updating below. When all the checkboxes are checked, the value is 4, and that is going to be the value that will trigger the conditional formatting to reveal the text below. So now this is the cell where the message has already been written. Let's update the color manually to black for now, so that it's easier to work. Let's set the conditional formatting now. Select the cell, click on Format, and then Conditional Formatting. The Conditional Format Rules widget opens up on the right. In the range, we will keep the value as I15, as that is where we want the action to be performed. Under Format Rules, click on the drop-down and choose the last option that says Custom Formulas. Now we need to enter the condition when the formatting should be triggered. In our case, we want it to be actioned when the cell value of L14 is 4. Let's type equal to L14 equals to 4. Under Formatting Style, change the background color to white and font color to red. Let's make it bold. No, let's keep it as is. Recheck the formatting settings and click on Done. Let's close the widget. Now we need to go and change the unformatted color to white again, so that it merges with the background to appear as if the text isn't there when any one of the checkboxes is unchecked. Now you see when a checkbox is unchecked, the count becomes 3 and the text disappears. As we keep clicking, the values keep changing but the text appears only when the value is exactly 4. Now let's hide this value as well by changing its color to white so that it doesn't show up. Let's check once again. One, 2, 3, 4, and the text appears. Hope you enjoyed learning these advanced Google Sheet tricks. If you have any questions regarding this video, please leave a comment below and I will reply to your comments as soon as possible. If you would like me to create a video on any particular topic, let me know, and I will do that as well. In the meantime, don't forget to like and share this video. Smash the subscribe button and press the bell icon next to it so that you don't miss out on my next videos. Till we meet again, take care, sayonara and ciao.